Welcome to Din's Talk, the space where soul wisdom meets bold action. I'm Mia Dins, your host, here to ignite your fire, help you claim your power, and guide you to take unstoppable steps towards your dream. Every episode is designed to awaken your purpose, fuel your passion, and spark transformation in your life. It's time to step into your truth and never stop. Let's dive in.
Hello, beautiful soul. Thank you. And welcome back to another solo episode on Din's Talk. Let's Talk Soul. I'm Mia Dins. I'm your host. We are just talking raw, real, and bold here, but also connecting to your soul. And I help you with practical tools and conversations that may spark up something within you that you needed to hear exactly at that moment. Today's episode is all about how to stay in alignment and trusting your intuition. And I wanted to share some practical tips because I know that people can really benefit. I always love to listen to other people's practical tips and implement them if they resonate with me. And I just get activated and inspired, right? So I hope this episode is exactly doing that for you. The first thing, what helped me over the past couple of years, but especially the last year, what I started to implement is a complete reset day a week. And that's for me. I chose Sunday. You can choose any day of the week. I do not use my phone at all. I'm not using devices. I'm not on Messenger. I'm completely no emails, no social media, no nothing. And I do something different that I would usually do the rest of the days of the week, like the other 6 days. And this really was hard at the beginning, not being on social media or anything. This was not the issue for me, but more staying connected because as you guys know, I have been living off grid most of the time the past 2 years and was a lot by myself. But I also learned that I needed to trust and surrender to this one day to know that everything is taken care of. And especially when you're a sole business owner and an entrepreneur and you're in your beginning phases and you have a lot of challenges and all the things that I mentioned before, the finances and to take care of business, to structure. The temptations were always there. Hey, you can do just 1 hour and get things sorted. But it is really a practice to let go of that. And it also helps your body to recalibrate and to get our nervous system will get used to this. So you will know that one day a week, you will not freak out. At the beginning, there were things where I thought, oh, maybe I should do this one thing here and there. But it's really important to set these boundaries. And that's an act of devotion and self-love towards yourself. I know it may sound silly, but it starts with those things and to not be available for any external influences, to really take this day for myself. And I love that because I keep it open, like whatever I feel like doing it that day, maybe more movement. Most of the time I would spend a lot of time outside in nature, reading, meditating, just being and going with the flow. In Vietnam, I would go to the markets and explore, or I would choose like a different destination that I haven't seen yet or anything. And some days I just wanted to sleep and stay in bed because my body just needed that. And I think it's a really powerful tool for me anyways to know that I have this one day a week where I'm not needing to perform, as in like I need to show up in a certain way in my business with people and things like that. Of course, there were minor exceptions. For example, when I had to travel and I had to travel on a Sunday or had to get things ready for the Monday. Of course, those things happen, but to still stick to the boundaries of not checking social media and not needing to respond to people and take this day like really for yourself and learn to surrender and trust that everything is taken care of for you. Big game changer for me. It was like it's not just a rest day, it's a reset day. It's like a complete activation day. So very, very important. Another thing that helped me hugely, I started that 2 years ago because one of my best friend actually like activated that with me to have just certain time slots where I'm available for messages, for private messages, for my clients and things like that. And then of course, when you are entrepreneur, you're starting your own business, your own thing. This is hard at the beginning because you feel like you have to be constantly available because you don't want to miss out. Or yeah, I guess the missing out is really one part that came through for me a lot at the beginning. But I felt also with my work, with my energy, when I have a certain time slot that I dedicate to content creation or editing, I'm much more productive, because before I was all over the show and I would try to do it all at once. And that really helped me. And when I'm also very intentional with my time, I give my 100%, because the hour, a couple of hours of time slot that I choose to be available, they are very intentional, and I'm 100% there. And you get the full energy. And that's what we want, don't we? Again, of course, if I have like a certain client scheduled out of my normal routine, that happens. Those things happen, right? There's always the 80-20% in that space. Life happens. But in general, keep those time slots and stick to it and be as adamant with it as possible. That really helped me also with my energy. There are also, like I said, there could be exceptions that I have a couple of days back to back booked with clients, with podcasts and things like that. And that's okay too, because I know that's meant to be. But then I make sure I have like a recalibration day scheduled right away after, where I take off from all the external and I can go inward and just decompress and digest all the information, all the things. I think it's very important, because I love actually having busy days and then have a rest day after, and then go again, like working in waves. That works for me. But it's really important when you learn to get to know yourself more and you know how you work. When is your best time to work? When is your more focused time? When can you do deep focus work? Is it in the morning? Is it during the day? Is it in the evening? We all are very different. So again, it comes back to the point where you really need to learn to observe yourself, to tune in, and to allow yourself to show you what you need the most at that time. And we all have a certain rhythm, and of course that also can change. And that's why it's always important to tune in. And I feel like I shared it in my last solo episode about the power of the committed Sunday, that especially when you go through hard times, or when there's the urge to take more action because you are so conditioned to do that, to constantly take action, especially through challenging times, stick to your Sunday. It is so powerful, and train yourself to do that, to hold that space for yourself, because you deserve it. We all deserve a day off, of course, to completely have that time for ourselves. And don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Just do it. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And then it becomes a necessity for you. It's like a non-negotiable. And that's the power. Once you get to that stage, it's very, very powerful. Then other things, of course, I have my non-negotiables and sacred boundaries. They look very different for all of us. And it's important to treat yourself as a sacred temple, and you are the gatekeeper of that sacred temple. So you decide who is coming into your temple and who isn't. And I'm not just talking about people, but I talk about the things you allow in your life, how you treat yourself, your sleep, your food, how you take care of your body, but also your surroundings, your environments, the things you feed your mind with. All these things play a big part on your journey, and they all have a ripple effect. And of course, I have my daily practices that I do. I definitely always start my day with meditation, prayer, and gratitude. And then I have light movement where I really connect with myself. And it's when I'm lucky enough, right now, I'm here in this beautiful sanctuary and I can do yoga practices outside. I can connect with the wildlife, with the birds, with the trees, with the air. It's perfect and beautiful for me. If you can get a bit of sunshine in the morning, perfect, because you just wake up with the natural rhythm. This is very important to me. I have to always tune in to nature. And then I go through some journaling just as a reflection, where I'm at, what's going on. It's a little bit more mindy, and I can just put it on paper, write it down. Well, I use my laptop because I love writing on a laptop and have my diary online. Or digital. And this is really helpful for me, and it gives me a good cue and reflection where I'm at that day. And from that moment, I can then also, maybe I need to restructure a few things. Maybe I put a lot of things on my plate that day with content, with things, but I'm not, this is not the day for it. And it's okay, because it's good to have flexibility in certain things. And then I just really go through my list and focus on the absolute must-dos that are very, very important, and be focused. So take ownership of your energy, of your day, no matter what you're going through, and stick to your boundaries, and also stick to your intentions. Very important in order to develop self-trust towards yourself, because we need to trust ourselves first and foremost. It's the most important part. And I also make sure I will have, of course, my movement and my workout later. That is very important. It's an absolute non-negotiable for me to move through that energy. These are things to be constantly aware of and have my breath work. It's non-negotiable to have this time with myself. All these beautiful tools. I don't necessarily need to use all of them every day, but I use the ones that I feel guided to use and that I need in this very moment the most. And that just helps me to stay aligned. And then I also will see what version of me is very present and dominant. Is it the old version, like scarcity, worries, not enoughness? Or am I feeling very empowered that day? And of course, it changes. We are humans. We have different feelings, emotions, and states of being every single day. But if we never give ourselves the time to tune in and to really reflect and connect with ourselves, we will never know. And then we run on autopilot. So if you skip that step, and then you woke up a day where things are feeling hard and you have the subconscious program is very dominant of everything is hard, I'm not enough, or scarcity, and you don't see that and acknowledge it, it will run your entire day. And that's when the things get hard. I mean, you be in this vicious cycle. And then people start blaming other things and the external circumstances as well. So very powerful because you own it. You take responsibility for your life, for how you feel. And then you can take absolute ownership on the next steps. And I make sure that I get into the frequency of the version that I want to embody, the abundant me, the joyful me, the love, giving love and being present in this moment, being very grounded, and then take the aligned actions from there. I will not take any action if I'm in the scarcity frequency, not enoughness frequency, or I need to prove myself frequency. And this is something that is very powerful for me that I've learned. And because I do this work every single day, it doesn't take me long to shift. It doesn't take me long. So, which is powerful. And I want to encourage you, the more you do it, the faster you move through your cycles, because we constantly go through cycles. That's just how it is. A law of nature, that's life. We are cyclical beings, and it's really important to acknowledge that and to accept that and then move with these cycles. Very powerful. It was a learning, and it's still a big learning, and I believe it's a continuous learning for the rest of my human life here on earth, to work with the cycles and not against it. And what really helps me in the morning, and one thing I want to say, one of the most powerful tools you can have is using your own voice, because it's the voice you hear from the day you were born. And that's the voice that can talk a lot of shit and make you believe that, but it's also the voice that can completely empower you. And it can reverse all that. What I started doing is, years ago, like 6 years ago or something, I started actually recording like little mantras. At the beginning, then it was for boxing. I had like my pre-recorded 15 minutes before a fight, some breath work, affirmations. And throughout the years, I would constantly change whatever I need to hear. And sometimes it's affirmations, mantras, or it could be like I have a compilation of beautiful quotes or powerful statements from people that I collect over time. I have always done that. I write them down and then I just record them in my own voice too, because I like them. I want to embody them. And then I listen to this in the morning. I have different ones. I have different recordings for different things about the body, about abundance, about my purpose, about just, my state of being, motivation, and whatever I need that day, I will listen to that, because the most powerful thing is to listen to your voice in the morning first. And I do that either could be through my yoga practice if I feel like it, or maybe when I get my morning cacao ready or I get ready for the day, I listen to it. Could be 4 minutes, 5 minutes, can be something longer, anytime. It's very powerful. It is uncomfortable first to listen to your own voice. I did not like that. I never liked to watch my own videos, anything like that. Now I'm podcasting. Now I have to edit constantly. And I just got so used to it. I actually love observing myself because I can see certain things, how I talk. I can be like, I can improve that. Or, hey, I did say that. Or I do this funny thing with my face or my hands. It's very powerful and fun when you start falling in love with yourself, your life, and the things you do. And yeah, you don't take yourself too serious. It's very important. I just want to share that if you want to find out more, just DM me, message me directly, and you can do it. But it's super simple, guys. Honestly, you just record yourself and whatever you want to hear in the morning. What are the words you want to tell yourself every morning? And it's powerful when you have this recording, because the days when you feel really low, when you can't come up with these words on the spot for yourself, you have this recording ready and you can just listen to it. It's so powerful and it sets you up for the day. And another thing that helps me to always constantly track my evolution and to see where I'm at is I have weekly and monthly check-ins. Weekly is really about where was my energy like depleted, where was it energized, where could I have delegated more, how did my body feel, what with business, did I stick to my boundaries, did I undersell myself, not just business but in general in life, did I allow certain things in my life, where was the scarcity, the not enoughness pattern coming through strongly and things like that. But also really celebrate the smallest parts, the smallest steps you made. The little wins are so important to celebrate, and that helps me to keep on track, and so I can set myself up for success for the next week. On a monthly basis, it goes a little bit deeper, and I really have for my personal life, for my being, for my vessel check-in, and also with body measurements and with energy and how everything was with my digestion and things like that, go really deep. And then also business, like what was the income of my business, and the people, did I stick to my content structure, how do I feel, and podcasts and all these things. It's really good to have that as a check-in, and they don't have to be massive. If you start out, just ask yourself a couple of questions, but have regular check-ins with yourself. And it's very important then to see where you're at and to be okay with things that you didn't stick to. I just say, look, I didn't stick to my content plan because, and then I look at what happened. Oh, I got a lot of emotions, or things happened. I wasn't really sticking to my structure. A lot of people were coming into my field or whatever. And it's okay. It's not about shaming or blaming. It's about to look at the status quo and to be completely radically honest with yourself, and then say, okay, hey, I'm a human. It happened. Next time, this is what I can do better to keep my boundaries, to stick to it, and to then move through. Or it's not about refining yourself, it's actually refining your system. I think it's a big difference here. And I learned that because I used to think there's something wrong then with me, but it's actually the system is not working that you developed. So it's all about refining and evolving the system so it actually works for you and with you. And that's the power. And the last thing I wanted to share is the benefits of a soul-led living life. It's amazing because you have so much more energy freed up because you really learn to trust your intuition. You learn to trust with the messages that coming through you and that are for you. So you don't waste time to try to manufacture something, to force something, because we are wasting so much time in our lives to make things work the way we want it. Our ego wants it a certain way. We have a certain structure. It has to happen this way. If it doesn't happen, I make it work. Trust me, I'm very stubborn. I'm very, very stubborn. It also takes me often a lot of time until I get to this point and okay, it's time to let go and to let it unfold in the way it's meant to be. I have taken the aligned action. I've done my part. Now I need God to show me what his part is, and to allow that. Yeah, to allow and let go of this control. And you will see also in your body, everything, you're more vibrant, you feel younger, you can do a lot more things, you have fun. You actually have fun, you start expressing yourself, you be authentic, you care less about what other people think of you. You are not here to please, you just do your thing because you are a part of this whole masterpiece. And you just know when you embody your unique gift and you follow your gifts, have multiple gifts, you all do, you follow your purpose and you really embody this, that nothing can shake you. You get unshakable. It's like a rooted tree that is really deeply rooted into the ground. And that's the power of it, because the storm will always happen. Life is meant to be a wild adventure, a stormy day, a sunny day, a windy day, a rainy day, whatever. All of it is meant to happen. But imagine yourself being that tree, truly deeply rooted into the ground and knowing who the fuck you are and why you came here for it. This is so important, and everything happens from there, because if you don't have that foundation, then anything can break you, shake you, mold you, and we don't want that. I mean, if you do, that's cool, but I don't want that. I choose the life that I came here for, that my soul signed up for. And this is so important. Are there days where I get stuck in the old and I just don't know and question everything? Of course, it's part of the human life. But because I'm doing this work consistently for so many years, but also showing up every day, I just recalibrate very quickly and come back to my roots and remember it's all there. And I remember my boundaries, my standards, and move from that place. That is what I wanted to say. My do it, never stop message for this week, guys, is to really create your foundation, your roots, your little system, your routine. And it's beautifully aligned because when I will be posting this podcast, it is 3 days out from the Capricorn new moon. And as we know, Capricornian energy is all about structure, systems, and order, determination to keep on going. The mountain goat, very powerful sign actually, and it is ruling the 10th house in astrology, which is about our purpose, our career. And when it comes to work, right, it's about we having systems, we work, we use effort, but it's intentional effort and it's flowing effort, right? It's not this hustle or the mindy effort, but it's really a flow of effort, because that's what Capricorn is all about. And because now we had the beginning of the new year, everyone has dreams and visions, but now it's really about grounding them, because it's very beautiful to have all that there, but we need to put it back into some systems so we can start to embody them and actually live it and breathe it. So very, very powerful. I didn't plan that. I just realized that because I realized that I will be posting that on the 16th of January on a Friday. And when it comes out, wow, here we are. So beautifully aligned. So also in that way, I wish you all a very powerful, happy new moon. Take this time. If you have no systems in place, then this is the perfect time to actually sit down and look at things that you can do. Maybe something sparked up here within you and you got activated and feel like, yeah, I want to do similar things that Mia does. And if you need more guidance, if you want to find out more, there are lots and lots of things out there on YouTube, social media, Ask ChatGPT, whatever. We have all these resources available, beautiful books written by amazing people. But if you also feel really drawn to work with me or want to know more, you can find all the details below in the description box. Just hit me up, send a message, ask me about things. I also have guided activations free on my website available. You can download them for free and have a browse through. And there are lots of little freebies you can use to get started and then create your system that works for you. Very important. My do it, never stop message, because once you have a system in place, you become unshakable, unhookable, unstoppable. And I want that for you, because when we all rise, we create a much better world and a better place to live for all of us. And who doesn't want that? I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning back into Din's Talk. I'm excited for the year ahead, for everything that's coming, for all the beautiful guests that will be joining me. And thank you so much for supporting the show. Hit subscribe, like, share with anybody. Drop in comments below, whatever you feel called to do. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing the space with me. And until next week, love you.
Thank you for tuning into Din's Talk. I hope today's conversation sparked something within you. Remember, you have the power to align with your soul, take bold action, and live a life fueled by passion. Don't forget to subscribe, share with others, and leave a comment if this episode resonated with you. And as always, do it, never stop. Until next time, keep claiming your fire and your power.